Python can convert strings to integers, and perhaps you have already done that. But what if the string is not a number? In this video you learn how to convert strings to integers, and I show you why using try except alone is not enough when things go wrong. Converting strings to integers needs to happen when input comes from the keyboard, network or text files, and in these cases numbers are provided as strings. In this tutorial I will use the input function to ask for a number and convert it to an integer. Then I show how to deal with problems that can occur when the input is not an integer. As a bonus you will learn two definitions that you probably did not hear before. I store input in variable amount and multiply it by a price. Python raises a type error. It cannot multiply a string by a float. I convert the string to an int. Now it works and you have seen how Python converts a string to an int. But you know that this program has a problem. Let me run it again and enter some text. The int function expects a string value that represents an integer. The text hello is definitely not an integer and cannot be converted. Python raised an error. At this moment there are three solutions to the problem. 1. Do nothing. This is not a joke. Python informed you what went wrong. Perhaps that is enough to inform users to type in correct amounts. 2. Check before converting if the amount is a valid number. The Python string type provides many methods to check its text. But to check if the text represents an integer, you would have to combine a few of them. Testing for preconditions, like if a string represents an integer, is called looking before you leap. This is a real expression and it is defined in the Python documentation. I'll put a link to it in the description. On the other hand, the documentation describes easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Many developers favor this over the other. What does it mean? It means to just do the conversion and deal with the error later. So how can you implement this in the code you just saw? I initialize amount integer to none. I check what error was raised when the conversion failed. It is the value error. Now I wrap the conversion code in a try block. And add an exception block. When I enter an integer, the program runs until the end. But what happens if I enter some text? Python printed the friendly message, "This is not an integer," and then proceeds without converting the string. The price is now multiplied by none, and this raises another error. So, we move the problem to another location, and this is a valuable lesson to learn. If you wrap problematic code in try except statements, you'd better come up with a strategy how to deal with the problem. In this example, the program cannot proceed until a proper integer has been entered. For this, we will use a loop. Only when I entered a valid integer, Python was able to convert the string and proceed with the rest. And that's all for this video. For more Python tutorials, click one of my other videos. Thanks for watching.